Hello everyone, welcome to Hatha Yoga, and this afternoon's Hatha Yoga series will be on our hands and knees. So you may need to have blocks to make it a little easier for you, or if your hands hurt using the mat, the blocks will help, or if you have hand grips that will also help. It also lifts you up a little higher. And the other thing that you may need is a pillow. So if you can get those and have them with you for when we need them. Alright, so I'll just put them aside. So welcome. Namaste. So we're going to be on our hands and knees today. So you want your hands beneath your shoulders and your knees beneath your hips, and your shoulders are in your back pockets, and your tummy muscles are nice and tight. So from here we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up. So just let your head hang and stir your head around. And then go the opposite direction. And then lift your head up. And then let your breastbone sink and feel your shoulder blades come together, and then just lift to that neutral spine. So don't lift really high. Good. And then we're going to go into cat and cow. So cat, the spine is curled, your head looks inward. And for cow, you sway your back, let your shoulders slide into your back pockets, tighten your tummy and look away. And I usually breathe out when I curl into myself, and I breathe in when I open the body and stretch down the front. Go nice and slow, breathe out and lean back slightly. And as you breathe in, sway the back. So you want to move nice and slow. Synchronize the movement with your breath. I like to lean back when I go into cat because it sends a stretch down my back towards my sacrum and hips. Feels really good. So you can do one more here. And then come back to neutral. So from here we're going to do hula cow, which is an undulating or a barrel roll. And then reverse the direction. So if your hands start to bother you using the mat, grab those blocks and put your hands on the blocks or use your hand grips. And then come back to center. So the next thing we're going to do is thread the needle, and if you use a pillow, let's get the pillow close to us. I'm going to bring the arm up and wrap around your waist and let your head come down to the mat and look under your armpit. And then come up. So if that makes you feel uncomfortable, use the pillow right here. Inhale up. And let your head rest on your pillow and come out and come up. You can use the pillow, gives your neck some support. I'm going to take the pillow away. When you're doing this, your feet may want to cross at your ankles. So just try to keep the feet side by side. One more time. And now either use your pillow and rest your head on your pillow or your mat. And bring your opposite arm out to the side so both hands are stacked. And then raise your arm in the air. And lift up. Don't sink into your shoulder. And breathe deeply. And then bring your hand down and bring yourself back to your hands and knees. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Arm comes up and wraps, and you bring your head to the floor or to your pillow and peek out from underneath your arm. Just like that. Now here, if you need to use your pillow, rest your head in your pillow, bring your hands together and bring the arm up, and then lift, pull, so you're not sinking into your neck and shoulder. And then come all the way down and press yourself back up to your hands and knees. So from here, we're going to sit back in a child's pose and really pull the hips back and reach your arms forward and sink into your mat. Your legs are together here, and either let your head come to the mat and rest your forehead on the mat, or if you prefer, stack your hands or make fists and stack your forehead on your hands and fists, whatever works best for you. And while you're resting here, just let your breath flow normally. And now come back up to your hands and knees. We no longer need the pillow, so put the pillow aside. So from here we're going to go into what you would know as bird dog. So you're on your hands and knees and your shoulders are in your back pockets. Your abdominal muscles are tight. You're going to slide one leg back and lift the leg into the air, and the supporting leg is pressing down, and the opposite arm comes forward. And reach from limb to limb. And hold the posture, keeping the breastbone lifted and your abdominal muscles tight. You're just holding the posture and breathing normally. Now from here, you're going to bend the knee and take your hand back. And if you can reach your foot, grab a hold of your foot. If not, you could use a strap. And lift. Just lift nice and high, pulling on your foot or ankle, and pull the leg up. Big, huge stretch. And then release, bring your hand down, and bring your knee back to the mat. So that was great. So let's switch to the other side. So slide the other leg back. Lift the leg, abdominal muscles are tight, your breastbone's lifted. Send the opposite arm forward, and you're stretching from limb through limb and keeping your breastbone lifted as you hold the posture, letting your breath flow naturally. Good, now bend the knee. Take your hand back and grab a hold of your foot, toes, and lift. This is called bow. Stretch. And then gently release and bring your knee back down. Good. So from here, we're going to carry on. I'm going to send one foot back and anchor it. Send your opposite foot back and anchor it. Push into a little pike and then push back into plank and hold your plank position. Beautiful. Now lift the hips and let's bring one leg forward. And if you can't get it forward on its own, come so far and then pick the foot up and bring it forward. And bring your hands to the inside for a lunge position. And now from here, I'm going to lower my back knee and uncurl my toes and bring my hands up to my thigh for a kneeling warrior one. So press the pelvis forward slightly. Make sure your knee is comfortable. If it's not comfortable, just adjust it. So you want to lean the pelvis forward, and your pelvis is facing directly ahead. And lift the chest. And then move the arms up. This is warrior one, pelvis is facing forward. Bring your arms down, and a variation is to clasp your hands behind you or use a strap. Pull the arms back and lift the chest. And the breath flows. And then release the arms and bring your hands to prayer in front and an internal twist towards the front leg. So it's a small twist. And then come back to center. So from here, I'm going to place my hands on the floor for a moment, and I'm just going to pivot my back leg and line my front foot and my back leg up. Notice how the leg is pivoted out off the mat, and then press forward into that front leg. So this is now warrior two. We're open to the side. Arms come out to a T. Kneeling warrior two. Turn your hand palm up and lift the chest. As you press your pelvis forward, lift and look up at the heavens. And then gently come back down. And bring your hands in and bring your hands to the floor again. And unpivot that leg. So from here, we're going to bring our hands back to the floor again and curl the toes of the back foot and stretch the leg back and let the knee come down. And from here, if you can, you may need your blocks. Put your blocks under your hands. But we're going to go down lower. And this is called lizard. And if you need blocks to put under your forearms, use your blocks. Stretch the front of the pelvis, stretching the inner hip. Try and let your shoulders relax and your body sink. And then lift yourself back up and place your hand on the outside of the leg and walk the foot forward. And now walk your hands or your hands and your block back and pull the hips back. And if you can, come back further and let your toes lift and your foot flex and your heel anchors. So now we're really stretching the back of the leg. You may need your blocks here to lift you up higher, whatever works for you. And if you have strong knees, you're going to walk your hands or your blocks back and you're going to come all the way back into a seated position. So the one leg is bent, my foot is under my bottom, the opposite leg is straight, and from here I'm going to forward fold over that leg, let my body sink, and if your body doesn't allow you to sit back like I'm doing, you can remain in your lifted position, flex your foot, and just sink into your leg. You're still getting a great workout. So from here, we're going to bring that leg back. I'm going to take a little break and you're going to sit back in child's pose once again. And rest. Make sure your head is supported either on your hands or fists or on the mat. Let your breath flow. Now bring yourself back up to your hands and knees. And at this point, we're going to do the same sequence again, only with the other leg. So, hands and knees, shoulders in your back pockets. Send one foot back and anchor. Send your other foot back. A little pike to get yourself set. And push into your plank and hold your plank. Breath is flowing. I'm going to pike up, and I'm going to switch legs. I'm going to pick up my left leg. I used my right leg last time. I'm going to bring it forward. Remember, if you can't bring your foot up to your hands, come as far as you can, then pick the foot up and bring it forward. Bring your hands to the inside and move my foot out and go into a lunge. Don't let your knee drop out to the side. Keep it hugged into your arm when you go into this lunge. And now bend the knee, let the knee come down. And we're going to go into a warrior one. So get yourself settled. Bring the body up. Hands are resting on your thigh. And press your pelvis forward and lift the chest. Make sure your feet are anchored, toes, big toe. And now take your arms up and press the heart forward and the pelvis forward and lift. Warrior one. Variation of warrior one, clasp your hands behind your back and hold on to a strap. Pull the arms back and down, press the pelvis forward and lift the chest. And then come back up. And now hands to prayer for internal twist in warrior one. Good. Okay, so from here, we're going to move warrior two. So you're going to be able to see from the other side what warrior two looks like. So I'm going to bring my foot forward so it's in line with my other leg. And I'm going to pivot the other knee. So my pelvis is now turned sideways. This is warrior two in a kneeling position. The pelvis is open. Bring the arms out to a T. And lift the chest and push the pelvis forward or push the body forward towards the knee. Now turn your hand palm up and lift. Breathing deeply. Turn your hand palm down, come back to warrior two. So from here, I'm going to bring my hands to the inside of my mat. I'm going to walk my foot out to the side and I'm going to turn my leg so my whole body is facing towards the top end of the mat. I'm going to curl my toes under the back leg and just slide the back leg back a little bit to deepen the stretch. So this is a lunge posture. And from here, I'm going to go down into lizard. You can put your blocks under your forearms now if you like. Try and let your body relax. This is a pretty interesting posture. Great stretch. And then I'm going to push myself up. I'm going to take my hand to the outside of my leg and walk my foot more towards the center. And pull my hips back so my legs straighten. So if you need blocks here, use them under your hands. Bring my hands back. And so in this position, you can fold forward towards your leg if you like. Beautiful deep stretch. Or keeping the back flat, or as flat as you can get it. Really pull the hips back and reach through the crown of the head. And if you can sit back like I can, straighten the leg, flex the foot, and bring yourself back and settle. The foot is flexed. You're seated on your bottom, on your foot. You're going to reach your body forward and melt into your leg. The breath is flowing. And then bring yourself back up. So remember, if you can't sit like this, and not everybody can, this forward fold, kneeling forward fold, is just as beneficial. It's really great. And then bring yourself back up and bring your hands to the inside and take the foot back. And now let's go into a wide leg child's pose, knees wide apart. Feet are towards each other as you sink back, and make sure that your head is supported either with fists or hands or the mat. Sink your body down and let your breath flow. And now push yourself up. Swing around. And sit on your heels if that's comfortable for you. We'll just finish off with a couple of things here. So you're going to place one hand to the side and the other arm is up. And you're going to fold to the side. And then come up, bring the arm down. Switch to the other side. Fold to the side. And then up. Now back into your kneeling, upright kneeling position. You're going to place one hand down. Your hand is lined up with your knees. The other arm comes up and you're going to stretch to the side. Open the chest. And then come up. Switch to the other side. And then come up. And that's it for our kneeling Hatha Yoga postures for today. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a lovely day. Namaste.